So being a smarter patient. Preventive theory versus reactive theory. So let's talk preventive first. This is the world that you want to live in. This is the thought process you want to have. These are the things that you want to be living, okay? This is the act of living your life in a way that supports health and prevents disease and symptoms from ever happening. So being prevented would also include seeing professionals for health maintenance and or vitality treatments even when you don't have symptoms. Most of us have never thought of the concept of seeing one of our health professionals when we don't feel ill. That means you don't have the right health professionals on your team. If the only health professionals you have on your team right now are people who can only see you when you're sick, you need to get some new health professionals. It doesn't mean you dump the one you got necessarily, because he or she may be useful if you have something happen. But you need to have health professionals who can help you feel even better than you're feeling. They can help maximize your immunity. They can help maximize your neurological function. Okay? Not all symptoms are going to be prevented. We know this. Obviously, things are going to happen. Things are going to come up. You may develop the symptoms of a cold or something this winter. But when living a life to prevent disease, you will avoid the vast majority of unnecessary disease. Okay? That 98%, you will eliminate a large chunk of that from ever happening in your life. Just through the way you live on a day-to-day basis. That is being preventive. So another quote from Andrew Weil, and this is one of the things that he makes very, very clear in his book. And as a patient, you need to listen to this too, because it's very important. External material objects are never the cause of disease. They are merely agents waiting to cause specific symptoms in susceptible hosts. Who's the susceptible host? It's you. And you can't blame a virus or a bacteria in your environment for your sickness. Because your body is capable of handling it, and you never experiencing symptoms, never knowing anything happened. The only time something like that can take hold is if you are weakened, is if you are susceptible. It's a new way of looking at it. It's a lot of personal responsibility. But that's the way your body was created to work. So in a preventive lifestyle, this graphic shows you all of the things that we're going to hit right here, basically showing all of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis are going to lead into supporting your body or challenging your body. So let's look at what a preventive lifestyle looks like. The top 10. Number 1, you believe in the body's ability to fight disease if given the appropriate tools, resources, and environment. That's the first part of living a preventative lifestyle. You have to have the belief, and you have to really believe it, that your body is capable, that you have immunity, that it's intelligent. Number 2, you eat food that is as close as possible to the source and form of growth. That isn't processed a lot, that isn't changed a lot, that hasn't had a bunch of stuff added to it and a bunch of stuff taken out of it. That is one of the key points of living a preventive lifestyle. You eat food that has been grown in its natural environment and with natural practices, not with a bunch of chemical help. Who here wants to be a science experiment? Okay. We haven't proven the stuff's safe yet, so if you want to take that chance, that's perfectly fine. At best, we haven't proven it safe. Others would say that we've definitely proven it unsafe. Okay? That's food that is not grown this way. Number 4, you're supplementing any nutritional deficiencies that may be in your meal plan with whole food supplements that are from the earth and preferably grown organically. If you have gaps in your whole food intake, in your day-to-day meal plan, you need to fill the gaps. That makes sense? It's pretty common knowledge, right? You need to make sure you're not just filling the gaps with anything, though. Because if you're taking a supplement, you're taking a concentrated source of whatever it is that it came from. So you need to make sure that it's pure, that it's clean, that it's whole food sourced, and that it's organic, if at all possible. Number 5, you execute a well-balanced movement routine, and your structural health is based on flexibility, strength, balance, and stress reduction, not benching 500 pounds, running 26.2 miles, or biking 100 miles. None of that matters when it comes to health. Remember, fitness is not a sign of health. You can be fit and drop over dead the next day. So a well-balanced movement plan is going to support your flexibility, strength, balance, and stress reduction. Number 6, you are conscious of your thought health and aware that positive thoughts and beliefs will help keep you well and thriving. Remember when we talked about what negative beliefs do in your body? They trigger stress mechanisms that suppress your immune system, and you are toast. You become a susceptible host when you think negatively, when you're stressed out all the time. Your immune system is squashed. So living a preventive lifestyle is being very conscious about your thought health. Always understanding and knowing what's going on in your mind. Number 7, you have eliminated as many environmental challenges in your life as possible from your home, workplace, and exposure through foods. That's being preventive. Getting rid of the things in your life, the products that have things in the ingredient panels that you absolutely do not need in your life. And fortunately enough now, there's a lot of, if you have a cleaning product, for example, there's normally a natural, unharmful product that you can switch it out with. It's not too hard to find alternatives and replacements now. All right, so get those things that are causing your body environmental challenges out. Replace them with products that aren't going to challenge your body. Number 8, if you have health maintenance and a vitality schedule for seeing your chosen professionals, you are living a preventive lifestyle. This means that you're not just going to your chiropractor when your back hurts. It means you're going to them to make sure that you're aligned even if your back doesn't hurt. Because guess what? If you can feel the pain, it's already gone too far. Can we get that? Can we understand that? We need to make sure that we have a schedule that we're following every month, that even if we're not all tense, maybe our thought life has been really positive this month. Even if we're not all tense, we're still going and getting a massage every 4 to 6 weeks. Because it's good for you and it will help prevent disease. If the first thought that you have come up to that is, boy, I don't know if I want to spend that money. That is a belief that you need to squash. Because in this country, we have become so blinded by this thought process of react, pay, react, pay, react, pay, that we're not investing in staying well. When all of you here would look me in the eye and tell me that you'd rather not get sick, yet in the same breath you'll turn around and tell me, I don't really want to spend money on a massage therapist if my muscles don't hurt. Now you'll start to see where your belief systems have been holding you back. We need to start thinking of paying for preventive services if we want to avoid paying for reactive services. Number 9, when a symptom shows up in your body, the first thing you think about, the first thing you ask yourself is, how did this happen and how did I cause this? You may not always have the answer. I'm not saying you have to know the answer to this question. But at least your first thing isn't like, oh, I'm sick again. Oh, I'm sick. Your first thing is, what caused this? Identify what caused it in your lifestyle. Realize that it was your fault. You are at cause over your health, it's not the other way around. You're not just waiting for things to happen. If 98% of things are preventable, most likely you caused it. You may be taking that as negative, but you shouldn't be, because it's extremely empowering, because the power's back in your hands. What caused this, and how did it happen? Identify what it could be, change the behavior, and you will solve the problem. That is what people who prevent disease think like. That's what they think like. And number 10, you invest your money in the things that will prevent disease. Do this exercise in your mind real quick. Pull out your checkbook or your debit card statement online, however you do it, and run down what you've spent your money on as it relates to your health this month. Is it all sick care insurance premiums, sick care deductibles, sick care meds that you have to stay on for the rest of your life because apparently your body can't fix itself? It somehow forgot. Where are you investing your money right now? Are you investing it in organic foods? Have you written a check to your farmer lately? How about your massage therapist? Have you bought supplements, essential nutrient supplements lately, to make sure to support your body's physiology and what you can't get in your food? Evaluate where you're spending your money, and I'll tell you exactly where your values are. This is one of those areas that you can evaluate and find out very, very quickly where your real beliefs are versus saying, well, no, I think I believe that. No. What do you believe? Will you write a check to that massage therapist once a month to get a massage even if you don't hurt? Because you know it will be good to keep your immune system up. It'll de-stress you. It'll be good for your physiology. Or do you keep that check in your pocket because I don't really want to spend that money? If you don't want to spend that money, then you really don't care about your health as much as you are saying that you do. We've got to put our money where our mouth is, people. This is as much for me as it is for you. I'm not talking to you about anything that I wouldn't do myself, or that anyone who is preventing disease wouldn't have to do themselves. So let's talk about reactive mindset real quick. Reactive is waiting until disease or symptoms arise and then acting to alleviate or resolve the symptom. So this basically would be, as soon as something pops up, you're just looking to cover it up and move on. And you don't take action. You take the least amount of action possible to get rid of it. So, for example, you get a headache, first thing you do is reach in the cabinet, grab a handful of Tylenol and just pop it and go. You don't think 1 second about what caused it, why you've got a headache, what you can do to prevent it, what food might have helped to alleviate it. You just take the cover up and go. Symptoms of disease, for example, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, under or overactive thyroid. These symptoms are not lifelong labels that anyone should believe are permanent. One of the biggest problems with the conventional medical system is they tend to make things look like they're permanent, and they shouldn't be. Then what happens is we get this little label tacked on to us, and we join the disease club. Maybe it's the diabetes club. I'm a type 2 diabetic. Are you really? You want to own that label? How long are you going to own it? You're going to own it forever? If you said you believe that your body can heal it, you don't join the diabetes club. Don't take that membership card. Give it back and say, no, I'm going to work on this and it will go away. My body will heal because it's capable of doing so. You should not believe that these things are permanent, because they're not. And it's actually more unnatural to permanently manage a disease than it is to just resolve it and fix it. These levels were once normal and healthy, and they can return to that way. A lot of people never think of the fact that their body managed their blood pressure and kept it in check for 45 years until finally they went and their blood pressure was high. And then we treat it as if it's broken forever. Oh, you're going to take this blood pressure medication and you're going to be on it for the rest of your life. Why? Did my body forget something? Where did that memory go? Where did that program go? No one has the right to tell you that. I don't care who they are. I don't care how long they went to school. No one has the right to tell you you're going to be sick for the rest of your life. And if you accept it, that's your fault, not theirs. So let's look at Dr. Frank Libman is a MD out of New York. He runs 1111 Medical Center, which is a phenomenal integrative medical center. And I really like his description of the medical model because he was in it, he lived it. So this is quote, "Modern Western medicine is a disease care system. It's not preventive, nor does it teach patients how to stay well. In fact, what we call preventive medicine in modern Western medicine, pap smears, breast exams, certain blood tests, are really just early detection. They're not teaching patients how to stay healthy. Unfortunately, it doesn't suit the drug industry to have patients take a drug that cures or eliminates the problem. It is much more lucrative for them if the drug can manage the symptoms, so you have to stay on them for life. If you are taking a medicine that you have been on for more than 3 months, you need to pay attention to what's being said here. Because it's not natural. That's not the way your body was created. To be sick for long, long periods of time. That's not natural. So the best medicine is using modern Western medicine for what it's good at. Crisis care medicine, acute medical and surgical emergencies. When you break a bone, for example, when you're acutely ill, etc. And then using diet, supplements, exercise, stress management, and other benign modalities for prevention and initially for most non-acute problems. So, Dr. Libman, MD, who's been in the system for a long, long time and who is actually helping people get well, is basically saying you should only use Western medicine as it is in this country right now for crisis care and acute medical and surgical emergencies. Because that's all they're good at. And any honest physician in the field right now, unless they're doing something out of the normal, if they were looking you in the eye and being honest with you, they'd tell you that, yeah, I can't keep you healthy. I can't do anything to help you cure a disease. I don't have those tools. I can't help you resolve them. I can help you manage a symptom, but I can't help you cure the disease. So the top 10 signs that you're living reactively. You believe that sickness and symptoms of disease are random or unavoidable. If you believe that sickness is just random, you're definitely going to want to live a reactive lifestyle. Because there's no point in putting the work into a preventive lifestyle if you believe that sickness is just random anyways, or that it's buried in your genes somewhere and it's just going to pop out at some age and some time that you're unaware of. Okay? You do not believe that whole foods are any different than processed or packaged foods. You don't believe that how a food was grown has any effect on its nutrition or purpose for the body. You believe that supplements are a waste of money, or you just take whatever you can buy at the cheapest price because my doctor told me I needed to take something. So I went and bought the cheapest possible thing I could find back in the clearance section. Almost expired. You don't have time to move your body, and you only exercise to lose or maintain your weight when you get the willpower to do so. In the movement section, there was a little note in there that put it pretty cleanly, where we have 148 hours in a week. And a good functional movement program to maintain health, now you're not scaling Everest with this, you're just maintaining health, would not take more than 3 hours of your week. If you can't give 3 hours a week out of 148 to move your body because of what it will do to prevent disease in your life, you don't care. Be honest with yourself, please. I don't care if you have 12 children. That's your problem. You can't take care of those kids if you're ill. You have got to find the time, because 3 hours out of 148 ain't that much. And I think if we're all being honest with ourselves, if we can't squeeze that in, honestly, it's not a priority. I understand sometimes we can't because things come up in the schedule, but I'm not talking about those rare instances. You don't believe that your thoughts have anything to do with the health you experience in your body. This is probably another one of the bigger problems in conventional medicine. When you come in and present with a health problem, there is no time to talk about what's going on in your life. And this is why 40% of the blood pressure diagnosis are incorrect and false. Because the blood pressure was only elevated for that amount of time because the doc didn't have time to ask you, what's going on in your life right now? Why is your blood pressure high? Because, folks, you cause your blood pressure to be high, not some malfunction. So you have to realize, if you're going to trust a medical provider, they need to believe the things in the preventive category. If you're going to a medical provider right now that believes the things in the reactive category, you probably are seeking advice from someone that you don't agree with, which doesn't make any sense at all. Number 7, you don't believe that your environment or the things in your environment have any effect on your health. Electromagnetic energy, chemicals in cleaners, you don't think it has any effect on your health. So, I'm just going to keep buying the stuff that's cheapest. And even though I can't read 90% of the ingredients on the back and they sound pretty complex and terrible, I don't care. Number 8, you only seek health professionals when you have a problem. It's a major sign of a reactive lifestyle. Number 9, when you have a symptom that shows up in your body, you are annoyed that the symptom is there, and you'll do almost just anything just to get rid of it, with no attention or thought put to the cause at all. One of the biggest possible problems in how we think as patients is we just look for a solve. We're looking for, get rid of the symptom at any cost. Just get rid of it. And we can't think of that. We can't think that way anymore if we really want our health goals to come true. And number 10, you invest your money in symptom control when disease shows up and on disease management. To you, spending money on your health when you don't have symptoms is a complete waste. Okay? These are the signs that you are either living a reactive lifestyle or you are thinking reactively.